God is love, okay? But no religion say that God is intelligence. I was like, oh no, there is one type of philosophy that actually says that. So I put it on his comment. I say, hey, have you ever heard about Spiritism? Because the first question that Allan Kardec asked in the Spirit's book is, what is God? It's not who is God, it's what is God. And he gives that particular definition, that God is the supreme intelligence. The supreme intelligence. Okay, think about that for a second. Okay, when he talks about the attributes of God, then it comes the loves and everything else that, you know, other religions mention. But if you think about God as the supreme intelligence, the first cause of all things, that's deep. Okay, so that is very deep. Why? Because the first cause of all things is mean that it's the first cause of everything. Everything. You. So Spiritism does not see a God that it's outside of us, that it's a guy out there that is controlling the universe and wants to know what you did wrong and what you did right, and he gives you good things if you're a good girl and bad things if you're a bad person. It's not something that you need to fear. It's not something that you need to sacrifice for. It's not something that you need to sing to it, that it's going to be happy if you do the right thing. This has nothing to do with the vision of God that Spiritism brings to us. Okay? So, when you think about the supreme intelligence, that it's the cause of all things, then you think about it, is an animal intelligent? Yes, they are. You observe a dog, a cat, an ant. You're thinking that they're doing random things, and when you observe, you see that there is intelligence on a tree. There is intelligence and an insect. There is intelligence in the water. There is intelligence everywhere. Now, when you talk about intelligence, I'm not talking about the intellectual. Okay? One thing is pure intelligence, the other one is intellect. Intellect is your capability to learn something, and intellect has a lot to do with memory. The person that you think that is very smart is because they have a great memory and they can remember everything, and others have no memory. So it's difficult for them to use their intellect because of the memory thing. Okay? So please be aware, we're not talking about the capabilities of the intellect. Okay. Whoever person that you think that it's very smart probably has a very sharp intellect. It's that person that knows how to talk about everything. Oh, about this, they know. About that, they know. About that, because they have an accumulation of memory, of knowledge that they have. And they are very intellectual people out there. When you talk about the supreme intelligence, you're talking about pure intelligence. That it's different than the intellect. Is that clear, everybody? Yeah? Okay. So, when you see this intelligent, when you start to observe this real intelligent, you're gonna see how intelligent a bird can be. Because they can fly without GPS, right? We need the GPS to go from here to Brazil. We can never make it in our own. But there was birds that actually fly without any GPS. And they know exactly where they're going. That's intelligent. Okay? So you see the bee, that is the thing with the flower. When you look at nature, you see nothing but intelligence. So, when you don't have to believe in an exterior God, when you know that everything is God and everything is intelligence. Think about your own body. How it does know how to breathe. You keep telling your body, please breathe. No. It just knows how to breathe. You don't tell your heart to beat. Why? Because it's pure intelligence. It knows what to do. How, Yonara? It just knows what to do. The tree knows what to do. The sun knows what to do. The water knows what to do. The fire knows what to do. And you know too. Because if the God is the cause of all things, guess what? It's the cause of you. That's why Jesus says, you are God. But not only you, everything in creation is divine. It is God. Life itself, it's God. And you don't have to think about there is a creator controlling the universe. The universe controls itself. Why? Because the universe is intelligent. So it creates its own law. Just like why do we have waterfalls? Why do we have cockroaches? Why do we have this is creation. So God is supreme intelligent. God is creation. And when you look at God like this, you are like, this is a pretty amazing creation. Don't you think? How could this be? This intelligent is intelligent. Think about that. Think about if you were God. You, the personality of you. And you have to create this world. Would you think of every flower, of every color, of every incense, of the billions and billions of creatures? Would you think about the ocean and put creatures under the ocean? It's pretty amazing. All this is divine. And you are part of this. You are this. But the intellect became a problem to us. Because the intellect wants to understand God. And what we do is that humans create a God. And that God that was created by humanity does not exist. That exterior God that they keep telling you to search for, to pray for, to do all these things, to be good, that exterior God that unfortunately gets you in a very pure guilt state. That's what exterior God does. We're guilty creatures. If we do anything wrong, we think that we think it's wrong. You know, we think this God here that is pure, extreme intelligence is gonna punish us. And we start to feel bad. Depression, anxiety, everything, because we are disconnected from this intelligence. We are disconnected from ourselves, from the divine selves that we are, and we are connecting to ideas of God. So read this and make sense too. God is the supreme intelligence, the first cause of all things. That means this remote control, this, the chair, the floor, you. And please, let us sink it in that you are part of this. So no more exterior gods, because that has nothing to do with what Jesus brought us, because Jesus says the kingdom of God is within you. And Allan Kardec says God is the supreme intelligence, the first cause of everything. That is a very deep answer. So the second one is the immortality of the soul. Okay, in this question here, are there worlds that serve as layovers and resting place for errant spirits? Errant spirits are spirits that are in between reincarnation here, okay, and earth. This is just a way, this is just a word to describe that. Yes, there is world that are specially updated to temporarily serve errant spirits. Errant is spirits that are in between reincarnation. They are like campgrounds where spirit may live and rest briefly after being errant for an extended period of time. So we need to bring this back. Okay, there is a spiritual world that are very real in other dimensions. Okay, and we as a Spiritism, we have to explore this, because if you go when we die, we all gonna die. It's just a matter of when. Okay, the immortality of the soul. It's not a place that you go if you were good or bad. It's just nature. Okay, where am I gonna go, Yonara, after I die? There is no right or wrong answer for this. You're gonna still be whoever you are, okay? And there is gonna be a place for you, but it's not a place that you deserve for doing good or bad things. It's a place that you can, as a consciousness, belong. As consciousness. And more consciousness that you have it within you, you're capable of amplify your own consciousness. So if you have a very closed mind, if you only think about yourself, if you think that you're here just to survive, just to work and have a family, Well, that is one type of consciousness, isn't it? Now, if you start to think about and live your life thinking about humanity, thinking about others, thinking about that you are all connected, to think outside of the boxes, that nationality doesn't matter, that your color of the skin does not matter, where you come from does not matter, we are all human. That's a different type of consciousness, isn't it? And then when you go for cosmic consciousness, is when you live your life. You are part of the cosmic, you are part of the universe. You not only are inside of the box, thinking that what you have to do is go to work and take care of your family. Right? So the immortality of the souls is about consciousness. It's about how consciousness are we, that we are all together, that we are all one, that we are all God. And how we live our life based on that perception. If you keep telling everybody, right, there is no, we're all one, you know, we're part of this beautiful divine energy, but then you're still at work, for an example, you're still competing with another person, you're still gossiping, you're still living the life as you never knew. The concept that it's only part of your intellectual memory. It's not part of your consciousness. So you open your consciousness. It's like you can be on a 3D, on a 4D, on a 5D, on a 6D, on a 7D, on the 8D dimension. It's all about your consciousness. Even if you live here, but you have a consciousness of a being on the 5th dimension, because you already live your life based on unconditional love. You die, guess where you go? So dying is based on consciousness. How consciousness are you? And there is literally worlds over there. There is literally campgrounds on the spiritual world. So Spiritism is a little bit different. Don't try to go to heaven. Do not try to go to hell or heaven or Nossa. Just try to be more conscious of who you really are. And do not worry about anything else. Because there is no place that is considered heaven or hell. There was actually cities. Look at Nossa, right? And everybody wants to die and go to Nossa. Don't go. Nossa, it's on a very umbral dimension, on top of Rio de Janeiro. There is other things out there. Okay, don't limit yourself to Nossa, because that's the same concept of heaven and hell. And people become Spiritism and they just switch. So instead of hell is umbral, instead of cell, instead of a heaven is Nossa, the astral city. There's a bunch of astral city. There is an astral city here for us in Pompano. There is astral city everywhere. Because life continues to go on. And if we're not aware of this, and if we think that we're going to go even to heaven or hell, it's a problem. It's a problem. And the only culture here culture here in the United States that actually believe in a spiritual world like we do is the Native Americans. They know that the world continue as it was in here. And we need to bring that back, okay? Because if I just die without having any idea of what's going on, it's just my mind is going to create a scenario for me. And have you ever heard on the Spiritist book that people that goes to a very traumatic event and they keep living that event over and over again for years and years and years? There is people that that we see on the other side that dies as I don't know, somebody that was murdered, like the Heaven and Hell book of Allan Kardec bring it to us, and they keep living in that loop that they can never get out of that incident. They live that incident over and over and over again. It's the mind loop based on belief system. So what we think it happens with the immortality of the soul, it's important. So then we have the third principle is the spirit communication. Does the spirit, but it's very important, does the spirit of the medium exercise an influence over the communication which he transmitted from other spirit? Look at this. As a spiritist, that's one of the gifts that Allan Kardec brought it to us, is do not trust every single spirit that communicates to the medium. Allan Kardec taught us to look at this as a natural phenomenon, but at the same time, we have to be aware of what could happen. And this is one of the things. Does the spirit of the medium exercise an influence over the communication which he transmitted from other spirit? Yes. That could happen. Yes. If he's not in sympathy with them, the medium, he may alter their answer and assimilate them to his own idea and inclination. But he does not influence the spirits themselves. He's only a bad interpreter. That it takes the idea of us that if we go to a medium and then everything that everybody writes about every books that is going out there, it could not have the own idea of the medium. That is what Allan Kardec is teaching us, and it's yes. Okay? So, and then we can communicate with the spirit, but we have to understand how it's done. And then we have reincarnation. This is one of the base principle of Spiritism, reincarnation. The soul has then many corporal existence. Yes, we all have many such existence. So reincarnation is also a big part of Spiritism. Sometimes we misunderstand. We see reincarnation as punishing. There's a lot of people that think they're here because they did bad things on their past life. That's not the way we see it. Okay, reincarnation is just a process of consciousness. You may need a few lives to realize that you are not this body. Okay, reincarnation is about how consciousness you become and in each life. And some life you may do better than another. Okay? I was talking about this on Monday here. I would say, imagine that you had your last reincarnation in India, for an example, which is a very spiritual place. But all the way in South India, not on the way that India is right now, on a major city, because they have been copying the Western world way too much. But I heard this. I heard that if you go to India, even the person that works, a simple man that works on the land, if you ask them what is consciousness, they will tell you. Because it's a place that it's very spiritual. Okay? People there are very spiritual. So let's go and let's think about us. Let's see that, for an example, the last reincarnation was in India. So we're very connected with the spiritual ideas, right? So then in the next life, we were born in Rio de Janeiro, Copacabana, with all the girls and the boys. And let's imagine that we have, that we were born in a nice, rich family, and we were very pretty, handsome. What could happen? Reality. What could happen? Where is all your spirituality goes? Okay, so we need those experiences, because even though we were in India and we thought they were very spiritual, very consciousness about this, not until we were put in a situation where this will have to flourish. And if it's not that, it won't. If it's not really that, it won't. So reincarnation is a process of consciousness. We as a consciousness, we need to become aware of who we really are. And do not identify with the person. We're so identified with this name and this body and my job right now. Are you? Right, let's be honest with each other. We think that we are this name and this body and this role that we play in. And we become so identified and so attached with them. And then we die, and then we get another family, another body, another name. And it's like this never exists. And we start over again. The cycle of reincarnation is only until we become aware. Then we don't need to come back here. We have others' experience to live that are wonderful. But if you keep in the loop of reincarnation, the loop of reincarnation represents your attachment to identity, to personality. You can use the personality as long as you don't think you're the personality. You can use what you have as long as you don't think that that's what you are. Right? Simple example, this remote control, it's something that I'm using it, but I'm not the remote control. Be careful. You are using this body, you are using this name, this personality, but that's not your essence. There is something deeper and profound within you, that it goes beyond your name and beyond your job and beyond who you think you are. And to become consciousness of this is the mission of everybody. People spend thousands of dollars, I see it, to find out the purpose on life. I was like, wow, that much money just to find out your purpose? Wow. Your purpose is just like my purpose. It's to be aware. There is no special purpose for you. Who is looking for a special purpose if not the ego and the personality that is searching for the purpose of life? There is no purpose other than live, other than become aware, other than become consciousness of the divine that is within you, who you really are. And when you become a slave of your own personality is when you are locking your mind, your thoughts is guiding you, not your consciousness. Because you are mistaking. But when you become aware, there is no need for this. And then the last of the principles is the plurality of the worlds. Of course, we're not here alone on Earth. We have other planets, other universes, other galaxies, trillions and trillions of suns out there. It's not only you. It's not only about you. It's about everything and nothing at the same time. How funny is that? It's about everything and nothing at the same time. And indeed, they teach us that all this world are inhabited by corporeal beings. This is back then on the days, appropriate to the physical constitution of each globe, that amongst the inhabitants of these globes, some are more, other less advantaged than us from an intellectual, moral, and even physical point of view. So there is all kinds of lives out there that may not look like us, but it's still part of us. And this is a very good point, because we are too concerned with our own thoughts and our own problems. And when we realize there is so much out there, not only for you to know, but also for you to enjoy, to brings you joy. If you think about all the cosmic, all the dances of the stars, all the colors, all the vibration, all the universe, and you keep telling yourself that you still worry about the small little things that's going on in our lives. So there is other worlds that you can participate on a different reincarnation. There's different experience there waiting for you. Life itself is that thing that is breathing for you, that it's making your heart beat for you. That it's present in the sun. Life itself is the most magical and beautiful thing that is permanent. What is impermanent is the situation, is the personality, is the body. That's impermanent. That goes on and off. But life itself, that divine, that beautiful thing that it's within you, that doesn't change. And that it's way bigger than what you think. One thing that I do it myself, that I'll give you an advice for, is try to think every day of something that you never thought before. Because that can bring you a little bit of more awareness. So say like this, I wonder if there is life in Jupiter. It's just a thought. But it will keep you from the everyday personality things. I wonder what it means to be a cosmic being. That's a wonderful thought to have. Don't you think? I wonder if my next life it could be an Andromeda. Just wondering. I wonder who I really am. Those are different thoughts that we can have every day. New thoughts, something that you never thought before. That will do wonders. All right, so those are the 5 principles. So of Spiritism, so the plurality of the world, the reincarnation, the spirit's communication, the immortality of the soul, and God. Those are very important principles. Okay, everybody, thank you so much. Unfortunately, I don't have time for questions, but next time we will. Thank you so much. Roberta, are you coming to do Demon?
All right, the announcements. Reminders, playtime, Festa Junina, June 7th. We're accepting cash donations, people. Huh? Well, okay, we are done with accepting anything. We just need you guys to come, June 7th. Okay, Saturday. At what time? 7? Okay, very cool. Become a BSS member. Oh, make a monthly donation of any amount via Zelle